We are recording, and this is going to be, I know, it's a musical blog, but it's because basically I've never talked about this before on YouTube. This is going to be the first that I've ever talked about, and I don't know whether this gets uploaded before or after, but whatever you see on YouTube in the next coming days and so on with me will be something that's as old as hen's teeth, and that is 78 records. Now, I know there'll be a lot of people out there who basically never lived through that age. I'm 29 and I've never lived through the age of 78. It was practically long gone before I was even born. But there was a lot of people out there who is also going to say, well, I didn't even live in the age of CDs, which is true. I mean, I know CDs are still around today, but practically it's about, no, we could turn around and say the age of vinyl record, but then again, I suppose it depends, because you've got to look at something that was actually dead and buried. I mean, you can't buy 8-track cartridges now. In fact, you can't buy tapes anymore, so that could be a good number, but I don't know when tapes actually stopped. But I suppose in a way, CD, tape and record are practically just a couple of formats, you know, 7-inch single and LPs are formats that I do believe that are no longer, well, they're not, so there is going to basically be people who are at the age of, I don't know, 11 or 12 or whatever, 13 or 14, who are going to turn around and say, I pretty much don't remember when they first come out, vinyl records or CDs and things like that, you know, who hasn't really lived through that time of actually wanting a CD, wanting a vinyl record, because it's all digital, it's all, let's go to iTunes and download, well, possible, or wherever they buy. We don't want to talk illegal, we want to talk legally download, so we want to imagine that they're paying to download, I don't know, 29p for a track. All they are downloading from somewhere that is illegal. Hush, hush, hush. Yeah, and basically, they have a computer and they've probably got some tracks on there, so what they do is they actually turn around to their friend and go, I've got like 50 odd, 60, 70 odd, 100 tracks, a couple of 100 tracks maybe, stored on their iPod or computer. Thought something was coming in. Anyway, but I'm talking before hen's teeth, a 78, which a lot of younger people are going to probably say to me, what on earth is a 78? Well, it's practically something that came out for the, well, it actually came out, I can't try to think, but I would have said it was before the 7-inch single, but they were actually around when vinyl, they were like an add-on. It's a bit like the old 12-inch in a way. You can't actually play a lot of 78s these days because vinyl record players don't, you know, these modern same dangled technology when they make a turntable does not feature 78 because they are only interested in LPs and singles, as in 33 or 45. They don't care about a 78 record, it's long gone. But some machines still do the odd one and they manufacture, they put 78 on there, or as I use a little record player, it's got 78 on there. And it's because basically maybe if you keep one of them, you play 78. And they were great in the way. They're very hard to break though, so, well, I mean very easy to break, not hard, I mean easy. So practically buying one, you know, you go around car boots and charity shops and you pick one up cheap for like 50p or something like that. And when I'm just talking about the rubbish ones, I don't want to go through and look for something rubbish, but let's just imagine something popularised in the 50s. I haven't got any soul ones actually on 78, but I'm sure R&B soul type of thing existed. But let's just imagine you're going out there and buying, I don't know, it could well be, you know, a particular 78 by some, you know, let's just say you've got the Spaniels on 78, or the Everly Brothers, or Elvis, or it could be something like Alma Cogan, it could be Ruby Murray, Paul Anka, Frankie Norman and the Teenagers, Little Richard, a number of them. right? Just examples of people you would have on a vinyl record, and practically they play at a speed of 78, quite fast, but they break easily. So you could literally, you know, unlike a vinyl record. I mean, for instance, a 45 or an LP. If you took an LP or a 45 and you, let's just say, I've got one here. This is Gem, right? I might think, oh, I wanna throw it on the floor. I want to give it some serious damage, or, you know, I want to grab the record like that and go. Doing that, you're probably going to ruin it a little bit, maybe, or you're not going to ruin it because it probably won't break so easily. But a vinyl record, and you do that on a vinyl record, and you probably would smash it literally by, you know, quite easily. So, because these don't break so easily, I mean, bending it and so on like that, it doesn't actually it doesn't really go snap as what you would do if it was a 78 record. They're very fragile little things, but they're definitely, or they were, and they are not very collectible, sadly. I mean, contrary to what people believe, that storing them in attics and watching Antique Roadshow programs, and people say, I've got tons of 78s, they're not really worth that much. The only ones that are worth something are very few. A very few. If you've got something like an Elvis Presley 78, then you're probably going to be talking a good couple of quid. I mean, the majority of 78s are practically worth nothing, and they're just like any normal vinyl record that you would practically buy. I mean, you can have something like an 80s record. It could be a simple pitch sleeve record of Depeche Mode from the 1980s, which is just simply mass produced because it was a popular record at the time, and yet that could be worth in excess of about £5. Right now, the same thing goes towards a record like in the 50s on a 78. So it could be something like Frank Lama and the Teenagers' Why Do Fools Fall in Love, as an example. Despite it being on 78, it could be worth around £5, and you know, there's a similarity of why that, you know, it means nothing. You've got to look at the prices of get a price guide and look for 78s in them. Rare Record Price Guide by Record Collector is the best one. And what you do is you price them up, and as I said, there are a few 78s that are worth a bit of money. There's some big ones going up there like the Penguins Earth Angel, which is worth a fair sum. But other than that, they're not really worth that much, and only certain ones. I don't think they're as collectible as maybe people would make out. Too many people. Charity shop owners who don't have price guides charge records just a little bit too overpriced, and I don't like that in any shape or form. So I think that it's all about pricing things up as they should be. I mean, who determines that a Now album on CD, this is the other thing, like a CD, like a Now album on CD, who practically determines that because it's some old album, we're talking, I don't know, an early 90s Now album on CD, and people are selling it on eBay for like fucking, and I'm just thinking, it's not even worth that. In fact, to be quite honest, I don't even think any of the early CDs should really be in there. I mean, there is, I've never seen one a CD price guide. A Rare Record Price Guide doesn't actually list CDs that are worth money. Well, they do, but they don't actually list too many, because they're not actually worth a lot of money. They're actually quite, they're not really, you know, worth anything, I don't think. So only a very few CDs make that grade of being collectible in the long run. But anyway, that's my little ranting going on. Just thought I'd give a little bit of a rant about 78s and practically the the producing of them, and I will tell you this because I know this for sure. Because they stopped making 78s in 1960. That was when the very last one. I'm sure there are people out there who said they've been made after, but the majority of answer is 1960. They stopped making them, and that's it. The end of what we call a 78. What comes next? The 10-inch. Maybe that's another one to look into. And the kids will be like, a 10-inch? We've had a 78, so what on earth would be a 10-inch? Questions and answers. Anyway, we'll leave that to your imagination. So, bye for now.